Hey Morg, just for my last post of the night, I wanted to answer some of the things that you sent me. Not gonna lie, Morgan, I feel like this project's opening up some conversations between us that we've never talked about before, and I really just want to thank you for being so open with me and trusting me, because I trust you too with everything. And um, I was reading them out loud because I was so excited that you posted comments, and I was reading them to Emma, my roommate, and Erica, my Dawn, and Natalie, who's one of my friends who was sitting in the room too. And I, I actually just started crying because um, I am so honored to know you, Morgan, and I have so much respect for you and everything that you do. um, and you being willing to share all of this with me and with everyone, you are a gift. And don't ever forget how amazing you are, okay? And don't ever forget how much you have in this world. Um, you're teaching me to never take for granted what I have in this world. And I really want to thank you for that. Um, and anyways, I just want to answer some of your questions. You asked me what I'm finding most difficult so far, and today I think that's probably not moving my limbs that I'm supposed to. Actually, two of the Dons and residents just came in to talk to me, and I was explaining something, and he held down my hand, and he was like, "You're not supposed to be moving that," or something, and I was like, "Oh, I know, I'm so sorry, I'm so bad at it," and they're like, "Maybe you should just tape it down," and I considered it because it's really difficult not to move. Um, in terms of any major issues, there's none so far, really, that's come up. And then you sent me a list of things that you want me to try, like going to a restaurant, seeing a show, going to the mall, getting into a vehicle, going to the bathroom, being lifted, and asking for help from people you don't know, eating or drinking or going to the bathroom after being put into bed, and then also having a strap around the arms and legs. So I just wanted to say, I was supposed to go to dinner tonight, but I couldn't because I had to attend a lecture and host a lecture here in residence. But I think I want to take you up on the challenge of going to a restaurant and possibly to the mall or to see a show. Or actually, I could probably do all three at once, um, to test out what that's like. Um, so maybe this weekend I can plan something with some of my friends and they'll take me out on the bus even, because I'd like to learn how to use the bus system in a wheelchair. Um, as for going to the bathroom, I can't have people lift me onto the toilet, but it's been an adventure because really, like, I'm only in by myself for like the inside part, but people are still standing outside so they can hear when I'm going to the bathroom, they can hear when I'm doing my business. So I know it's not to the extent of your lack of privacy, but at the same time it's still having that presence there that I'm like kind of like, ah, I miss being able to go to the bathroom by myself. So um being lifted, I am lifted up and down the stairs as the footage shows you. And that's really interesting because I feel like I have to chew gum all the time. It's very up close and personal with the people who are lifting me in. That's where a lot of like my weight consciousness came into consideration. But the people who have been lifting me are amazing. And actually, that brings me into asking help from people you don't know. There was someone in the caf today who asked me what I was doing, why I was in a wheelchair, and then I need to get back upstairs to come video blog to you, and offered, I was like, well, are you okay with helping lift up? And he was like, yeah, and he wanted to learn. And Morgan, it was so cool because I don't know him very well. I see him in passing in residence, and I have a class with him, but he took the time out of his night and spent doing something kind of personal because, like, he had to lift me with someone he barely knew, and really neat, interesting because I had to swallow my self-consciousness and get over that. Um, and there's been a lot of help, asking for help for opening doors and that type of thing from people I don't know. I feel really bad for inconveniencing them. Um, I guess it's something I might have to get over, but doors are weird from the perspective. Like, being on the ground is such a different experience. You feel every movement in the pavement, and doors seem so big, and everyone seems so tall. Like, it's a really new dynamic. What else did you ask? Oh, eating and drinking or having to go to the bathroom after bed. I think Emma's dreading this from tonight. But I had a nap this afternoon, and Morg, I am so tired that I will probably just pass out and not have to eat or drink anything. But if it so happens to arise, we'll have to see how that goes. What do you do in that circumstance? How do you deal with that type of thing? And last, you said strap in your arms and your legs. Well, Morgan, I am doing that. My arm is strapped in, and both of my feet are strapped in. And I have to tell you, like, it's a pretty interesting feeling to have some straps around my legs all the time. I don't know, it's really constricting. And also, the one on my arm goes to sleep a lot. Does your arm tend to fall asleep when you get the pins and needles feeling? It's such a weird sensation, and not being able to move it and fix it is kind of frustrating. You said that I'm lucky that I have a seatbelt across my waist and not a bar like yours, and yeah, there's definitely a lot more flexibility with the seatbelt and not the bar, but at the same time I think I get a little bit less support, and I shift around a bit easier because it's not as constricting, so I don't know, some differences. What do you find? I think your Lazy Boy wheelchair has a strap instead of a bar, right? So do you find you move around a lot more in that one as opposed to the other? Something I found kind of interesting. I just want to thank you for being so honest about how self-conscious you've ever felt about your weight. You're truly an inspiration in the fact that you're so comfortable with who you are and how you are that it's humbling, Morgan. You're really incredible, and I've never really thought about it before. Just like I said, I've never thought to ask you these questions. There's some conversations that we've never had before that we're having now that really move me. To be that comfortable with who you are and asking for help, that's huge, and I think more people need to be at that same comfort level as you are, because we are who we are, and we have to accept that. And to the fact that you have, I think that's amazing. Now, I know you get frustrated sometimes, and yeah, it's not about your weight, but what is it about? What frustrates you about who you are? For me, it's my weight and how much I worry about things, and how I procrastinate. Those are my big frustrations with myself. But what are your frustrations with yourself, and how do you overcome those? I'd really love to know if you'd be willing to share. And finally, making presentations with you, more presentations, I think, is something I'm really looking forward to. And you said that you didn't even understand what you were saying in the videos, but I think as people get to know you better, they understand you more. I know that's how it is for me, and sometimes I forget that other people can't understand you, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't communicate, that you shouldn't speak. I can't understand some people with really heavy accents. That doesn't mean that I try and stop communicating with them. What I think overall this leads to, in my mind anyway, different doesn't mean don't do it, and different doesn't mean it's bad. You may communicate in a different way, but that doesn't mean that you should stop communicating. You may do things in a different way, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't stop trying to do them, right? I think sometimes we focus too much on simplicity things, and we forget to just try things for the sake of trying them. Even if they take more manpower and more work, we should still try, we should still do. And I think that you can do anything, and I really like to explore doing anything with you. I think that's a fun project we could work on. No matter how much manpower it takes, or how much effort or anything, doing anything is possible.